Hey everybody, welcome to Spikey Saturday number 237 on the Mana Leek. I'm John as always, and we're here for some more Theros Beyond Death drafts. Seeing if I can figure out the format or not. Yes, last week we went 2-1, which was great. On stream I went 3-3 across 2 drafts. So I'm slowly getting up there. I'm not in the 30% win rate anymore. I'm up to the 40s, by which I mean 40.5. Yeah, still having some trouble with the format. Here I see Inevitable End, which is great removal, and I do have a feeling, I think I mentioned this last week, that one of the correct ways to draft this format is pick the removal over anything that isn't Dream Trawler, Kiora Best the Sea God, Heliod, Pelucranos. You know, top 5, top 8, top 10 rares. This rare is great. It's a great rare. It's not removal. So I think we're going to take Inevitable End here. Of course, some other stuff has come out about this format. Limited Resources has firmly said black is the best by a metric mile, and it's one of the only things they're drafting, which is kind of weird that they also say that it's an amazingly designed draft format, because those two statements are polar opposites for me. Yeah, the set seems really bad, just with total imbalance. There's also been a lot of other weird stuff going on. Kenji is currently testing forcing mono white. Ben Stark is playing 55, 56 card decks if he's in black green. A lot of the rules of drafting are getting kind of thrown out for this set, and it weirds me out. Let's see if we can figure it out with this Inevitable End here. Otherwise, perhaps we will face an Inevitable End. So forcing black, I guess we take like a Mogus's favor, or perhaps we just jump into black-red, arguably one of the best decks in the format. And in fact, I think that might be what we take. If I was drafting properly, if the set was properly balanced, I'd be jamming this Eutropia. Eutropia is great, amazing card, super powerful, and it just doesn't matter sometimes. It just doesn't matter because your opponent has all the removal and they have forced black, or they have the crazy bomb, and it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go into black-red. I've seen a lot of people who have racked up trophies by soft forcing black-red. They're not explicitly forcing it, but they're actually just forcing it. So let's soft force it, as it were. So following that, we get a Scavenging Harpy, which I think is fine for the deck. Enigmatic Incarnation, I've seen some stuff done with it. I don't really want to try it yet. I need to see that stuff happen consistently. You know, I've seen people with a deck do it once, and any deck can win once. I need to see it a little bit more consistently before I try to start jumping in on that. Beyond that, there's nothing terribly amazing anyway, so it's not even like we're going crazy by taking this black card. Viper's okay, Dismissal's fine, but blue has seemed a little bit weak unless you have serious backing up. Meanwhile, every common in black that's not fruit is 100% playable, if not great. So let's force a color. Let's force a color. We get an Oracle of Half-Truths. It's just bad-mouthing blue, but I mean, this is a totally fine card to jump into blue-black with. Cling to Dusk, Dust, rather, I think you can probably put in the main deck just because everybody's playing black, and so you need to exile stuff. You need to exile their escape cards, their Mogus's, Whatchamadoodle, etc. There's an Iroas's Blessing in here, but I didn't see it. Red is so underpowered if we don't get precisely what we need for the red-black deck, and Portent is what we want, but Blessing is just better. You know what? Let's stick on the original plan. I was getting led down a path of half-truths here. This card's great. It's not a bomb. We need to take removal. Remember the plan. Remember the plan. But yeah, so I put a post up reminding people that I was going live on Wednesday, and it seems like a lot of people jumped on over. So I'll keep doing that. Every Wednesday I'll post a community update saying, hey, remember, we're going live. And of course, for those of you who joined for the first time, you might have played marbles for the first time. Last week we gave away the 3 playmats for the marble season. We do marble races in between drafts and such, and we keep a leaderboard, and every 3 months the top 3 points getters get a free playmat from Inked Gaming. And we gave that away, which of course, if you were new, means that it was a little bit tricky for you to get enough points in one stream, but next stream we start a new season. So if you keep going to those streams, you could get those free playmats. So we get a Furious Rise, which is a good card and not exactly what Black-Red wants to be doing. Whereas Soul Reaper is a sack outlet. Done and done. Nyx Lotus is bad. Caliphate is fine, but not Black-Red. So yeah, I think I'll just take the Soul Reaper here. Yeah, Furious Rise is good, but I mean, what are we going to have in this deck? We're going to have, hopefully, Scophos' War Leader, I guess? So yeah, let's just take the Soul Reaper. Stick on the plan. Here we get a less good stuff. I think Triumph of Annex can be played in this deck. We're not exactly the aggro deck, but I think it'll be fine. Underworld Dreams is bad. Stampede Rider, again, we just had an issue with not thinking we were going to have 4-power creatures, and this card's much less good if we don't have 4-power creatures, whereas this card's fine. There's a Caryatid here, which arguably could suggest the green's a little bit open, but I'm not going to switch lanes. Not right now. Let's take the Triumph. Well, here's the Portent that I wanted. There is a black card that I would like to cut. Of course, it's impossible to cut black. But yeah, we need a Portent for what we're doing, so we're going to take Portent of Betrayal, and we'll take that second one too. So what we're going to be heavily looking out for are Lampads of Death's Vigils, an even cheaper sack outlet than the two that we have right now. And yeah, other than that, just good creatures and such. So let's take this Portent. Well, there's a second Portent, so we don't even have to think about the third Portent that we might get. But let's take the second one right now. There's the War Leader. There is the sack outlet that I want. Also sacks enchantments, which I have to remember, because you can sack your Omens, you can sack your Treacherous Blessing if you happen to get it. So yeah, we'll take the Scophos War Leader for sure. Here, there's not much that I want. I doubt we'll play this Nyxborn Marauder, but we can put it in for now. Enigmatic Incarnation came back around. It looks like nobody else wants to try it out either. I'll take a rare. Why not? Cling to Dust, let's jam that in the main deck. I think it's probably just okay, which is just a massive sign of how weird this format is. Let's take Sager's Cunning. Inspire Awe. Aw. And basic land, or is somebody collecting them? Basic land. We've got a slow jellyfish over here. And some slow ghosts. Anybody we know? Nobody we know. Haha, I wasted enough time. We got our basic land. All right. We get Thrix. That's not part of our plan. Not part of our plan at all. We get a Timurit, who's fine. A Blight Breath, who I would say is better. I think. So I know people have come up on this, specifically Limited Resources this morning. Luis was much higher on it. Marshall still doesn't really like it. But you know what? There is just so much graveyard stuff, especially with everybody forcing black, that I think it might be the pick here over the Blight Breath. Now, I have had a couple of people mention this, not in comments, but in the Limited Resources subreddit. I say that everybody forces black, so you constantly are playing against black. And people say, well, you know, even though it's leagues, everybody's drafting from an 8-person pod. People must not be black. The people who aren't playing black go 0-2 and drop, which means you will actually just see more black being played. As well, black's deep enough that you'll just see black being played more. I have seen some people say up to 4 drafters could be black and totally supported. I don't know if 4 people can do it at the table, but we'll see. We get an Inevitable End here, which I'm pretty happy with the second one. There's also a Celebrant, a Soul Reaper, a Mogus's Favor. I don't know if those 3 will come back around. Allure of the Unknown is a trash card, so we'll take the Inevitable End. This pack, we get that Lampad. Perfect. Lampad, 2 Portents. We've got a deck going. We've got a deck. At this point, I don't even know what I want. Portent of Betrayal with 3 sack outlets. I don't know. Do I want a third? I think the question here is, am I going to take a Grim Physician or a Final Flare over it? I don't think so. I think I'm going to take the Final Flare. We can Portent Flare, although that is 7 mana. We can flare our own creatures. We have to remember that Flare can sack an enchantment, so we can pick up Omen of the Forge, Omen of the Dead, etc. Heck, even our Triumph, if we can't get a profitable fight at the last one. So let's take the Final Flare. That is a ludicrously late final death that we are going to very happily take. 4 other cards were taken? Wow, in you go. Not much of anything. I don't really want a libation. I don't really want a second flare. Let's take the libation, kind of put it in the sideboard. 4th pick, fifth pick, final flare, right? 15, 14, 13, 12. Yeah, 5th pick, final flare. Wowie zowie. So we're a little light on creatures. I would like another Lampad just to feel kind of comfortable there. We could take an Underworld Ragehound. It's not exactly what the deck wants to be doing, but I think it's better than a hero. It's definitely better than a trickster. And we already sided Pharika's Libation. So yeah, let's take the Ragehound. Could get replaced. Ooh, a Blood Aspirant. That's another cheap sack outlet. It's another creature that gets benefits from other things sacking things. So I'm going to go in. Much better than what else is here. I think we're getting a deck. We'll take another Libation for the side, I guess. Mox's Favor I'd be pretty happy with. I think it might actually be less good in this deck. I think it's probably still fine. It's probably still the right pick. We'll get another Soul Reaper, right? We'll get another Soul Reaper. We could have taken the Soul Reaper and still gotten a Favor. Let's take this Favor. I don't think we're going to play 2. I don't think we're going to play a Grim Physician. You might be saying, but it's a sack creature. You sack it and do -1/-1. Turns out that's just not impactful enough in this format. You've got to be essentially cheating in this format to get anywhere, as far as I can tell. And this is very far from cheating. Rumbling Sentry. Somebody took their basic land. All right. We want... I wouldn't say no to an Erebos. Well, Catoblepus is fine, which is good because it's literally the only card I would pick from this pack and play. There's just nothing else here. Let's take the Bleeper. Bleeper, are you going to get actually good devotion? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're going to get a ton of devotion. This pack, we get a second Bleeper. I'm happy with a second Bleeper over an Incendiary Oracle for sure. Another Blood Aspirant or an Omen. I actually kind of like the Omen because everything sacks, right? You sack an enchantment, you sack an enchantment, you sack an enchantment, you sack an enchantment. Yeah, I think I like the Omen over the Aspirant. The Aspirant might even come back around. So, in you go. I think this deck's okay. Maybe this is our time. Maybe this is our chance. We get Venomous Hierophant, which is totally solid. In you go. Well, there's a deck. Can we make it any better? No, 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 no. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe we don't main deck the Cling to Dust. We side it in, and we put in a second Omen. I think I like that. Here, nothing. We'll take Traveler. Further in the this set doesn't matter, do whatever you want, flip a coin, see if you win. People are saying that Traveler's Amulet is a very high pick, as good as Golden Egg, because it fuels escape and fixes your mana and means that you can play less lands. This is the whose line is it of draft sets. The rules are made up and the points don't matter. It really reminds me of Hour of Devastation, where a segment of people are doing whatever they want and they're winning often enough that they therefore think the format's amazing because you can do anything. And in actuality, you know, there's a very narrow window of things that you can do. You can just do them reliably over and over. And that's not magic to me. That's not limited magic. Eldraine is definitely the height of design for me, just having every single deck be pretty darn balanced against each other. You know, I don't I can't really point to any Eldraine deck and be like, this is the one you should be in all of the time. They're just all decent. So we could take a Gallia. I can't imagine she's worth anything. 2 cents. Oh, 3 cents. So we could take a Piper. I don't think we're going to need it. Yeah, I think we just side in Underworld Fires against like the mono white deck. Totally okay card. And yeah, I'm not going to do the stupid Traveler's Amulet thing. We need mana in our deck, because we're going to need to be doing, you know, 4 mana plus 3 mana, or 4 mana plus 3 mana, or 4 mana plus 2 or 1 mana. We're going to want to be doubling. We're going to want to be casting Bleeper. So yeah, I'm not going to futz around with my mana at all. And we're not really escaping much either. We're escaping once. Well, multiple times with Mogus's Favor perhaps, but just the one card, I believe. We could find something better for this Marauder. It does make the Bleeper better, but it also dies to enchantment hate pretty well. I don't know if we'll see a fill up for it though. We'll take this Rise to Glory away from somebody, I suppose. But no, this deck seems like a deck that's fine to me, which in my experience with this being my 21st set or 21st draft means that I will 0-2. But realistically, I do think this looks like a pretty decent deck. Does stuff, kills stuff, steals stuff, kills the stuff we stole. I guess there's a potential problem of us just not being able to end the game. Theoretically, we can just kill or steal and kill enough stuff that they have nothing. But I think perhaps the way that we lose is them having more stuff than we can kill. Nothing I really want here either. I don't think we'll play this Rapid Flames at all. Irreverent, sure. Nyxborn, sure. Relentless, sure. All right. All right. Deck's got a curve. Deck's got a plan-ish. Maybe we'll be fine here. I guess for Death's Vigil, I would almost want a little bit more creatures. I did play somebody who was playing Satyr's Cunning and escaped this like 7 times, 8 times or something ludicrous, and then just sacked them all to their lamp pad, and that was the end of me. I don't think that I want to try that. I think we are going to add some basic lands. It's going to be a pretty, I was going to say 9-8, 10-7. Because we've got, what, double Timuret that we want on to, and we've got, oh yeah, we've got enough double black. Yeah, 10-7 seems fine to me. Let's save this deck. Let's play some Magic cards. Let's go 2-1. Let's go 2-1. That's all I want. And then I'm recording on Friday, which means I do have F&M tonight, where hopefully my second one goes a little bit better. My first one, I went 2-1, got no prizes because of weirdness that annoyed me. But yeah, we'll see if tonight goes better. It's such a weird format. Such a weird format. In addition, just people going monocolored frequently with no real support for it. There's no rules to this format. I want my drafts to have rules and proper draft etiquette. I want opponents to not time out on their matchmaking. Wait, how did they time out? All right, there we go. There we go. That opponent found me. All right, let's get it going. We're going to play first. We are going to get the preview window up because that's a thing that I do. Sorry that I forgot about that during the draft. We don't have a red source. We have 7 and we have stuff without getting the red source, so I think we're okay. I think the hand is just too fine enough to consider a mull here. I'll also say I really hate this swamp More so on Arena. There's a lot of green in there. There's a lot of black, but there's a lot of green. And on Arena, just glancing up and looking at the art, especially when it's small like this, looks like a forest. Like if I bring this down here, so all you see is the art, and imagine it way smaller. That looks like a forest. Which really threw me for a loop today. I was playing a little tiny bit of Arena. I play it. Yeah, it's a turn one play. I play it when I have money for free. I refuse to give them any money. Just to make sure that I have standard cards should anything ever come up. So we're in trouble. Shadow Spear is like, it's obviously good from just reading it. But for what it does, you know, +1/+1 and just trample and just lifelink. All of that put together is like a really good card. And of course in draft, going in every deck, just great. Oh, there's our red source. I guess we can Slaughter Priest. Pass the turn. Hopefully whatever they play, we can Omen here. And I need to see what they're going to name. They name the card with the name Metamize Prophecy. Yay! We are going to get outvalued. Just the outest of values. All right, we're going to bash on in for 2 here. I expect they're sitting on a counterspell, which honestly makes me want to hold up the Omen a little bit. It's just at 4 mana. I don't know if we're going to nail anything with that Omen. So what are they doing next turn? They're casting Metamize Prophecy. They're only going to have 2 mana available. Yeah, you know what? Counter my Soul Reaper. I dare ya. We'll get the counterspell out. They're going to presumably mostly take next turn off. They let it come through. You're going to get thirsty? You're going to play an Omen? Got to do something, right? Libation, choosing enchantment. Well, I guess I was going to sack the Soul Reaper regardless. Maybe they were just sitting on the Libation. Maybe no counterspell. So what was that? That was, yes, this is now active. They're going to play their Metamize Prophecy number 2. They're going to play a Farika's Libation. They never had Metamize Prophecy number 2? Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Well, let's drop a Nyxborn Marauder. Well, they're definitely tapped out. Huh. Nothing that has happened the way that I thought it was going to happen. Very weird. So we're unfortunately 2 mana away from being able to Portent Flare. Okay, opponent. Okay, I just won't be allowed to do anything. So unfortunately, that's 3 creatures gone. And we're not a creature-heavy deck. So I think our opponent's value and removal is just going to ruin this for us. That's the other thing about this format. The removal is insane. There's so much of it. And yet, I find it dries up so quickly during the draft. Their own Nyxborn Marauder, they cannot equip it at least, which means that we can Omen of the Forge, shooting them for 2, and then we can Final Flare that, sacking the Omen to kill that. We get a Bleeper. Larg. I guess we're casting it for no value? The problem here being that they have so much mana that there's essentially 0% chance they're going to play something that this could kill next turn, especially if they play it and equip the Shadow Spear. So yes, Bleeper couldn't have done anything to Gary. But now what do I do? Well, I drop a Scophos as War Leader. That's what I do. I pass the turn. And now we have Portent, attack, sack to War Leader. But they have a billion more cards approximately, which is going to make it tricky. We need more, is what we need. We maybe need the Sager's Cunning. We just need repeatable creatures to do something. So they're going to equip up Gary. They're down to 4 cards in hand now. So what would a Portent do here? It would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jesus! Man, I don't know about this format. I think it's actually trash. I think it's so heavily variance-filled trash. In for 3, I guess. Like, you've got to be out of removal now, right? Discordant Piper. Sure. 2 cards. Finally. Finally. We're starting to get there. We're starting to get there. Unfortunately, this thing with a Shadow Spear is going to be really tough to deal with, too. All right. We need to... We're going to steal Gary this turn. 100%. Steal Gary. Attack with Bleeper Gary. Maybe even the Lampad too. Oh right, I forgot it scries. Timurit's cute. We'll keep Timurit on top. Yeah, there's nothing that's going to kill my Lampad, so we can come in with Team. We're going to gain 3 back. They are going to kill Bleeper and just have a goat left. Now it will be a 1/2 goat. It will be a 1/2 goat. Alright, so we will sack Gary. And there we go. Even board. They still have cards. They now have a 1/2 lifelink trample goat. 17, 15, nothing coming down. So we'll drop Timurit. Timurit stays at least. We won't bother attacking in. We're not really winning this race. I guess theoretically I should have dropped that Swamp so that we would have had 2 Timurit activations. But is Timurit just going to die? Sure is. Sure is. Let's get rid of that and the Piper. Now you've got to be out of removal, right? Maybe now? What else you got for me? Lovely. Well, we're done playing lands, so we're just going to keep those in hand and keep that as a 3/3. And then I have to discard a card anyways. Hurrah. What did you discard? A Swamp. All right, we're both in top deck mode. They've got a much better creature than I have. It's huge thanks to Shadow Spear. So we are on a 4-turn clock. We have a Portent that we could draw. We have stuff. We have stuff we can draw. Scavenger Harpy blocks for a turn, because I do believe, well, it blocks for a turn but still takes 4 trample. I do believe that we are definitely in strong amounts of trouble. We're on a 3-turn clock. 2-turn clock, because that's a 6/6. So now, is there any benefit to sacking here? We take 5, or we take 6, but we take 5. There's no, but we deal 1 more to them. It's 1 more point of damage if we sack this. We essentially lose the same amount of life that we would have either anyways. 2-turn clock. 2-turn clock as long as this is not a creature. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. I really needed that in case we top deck a Portent. Although, even if we top deck Portent, we could steal and live for a turn. What are you paying mana for? Yeah, there we go. It's a swamp, though. But we're not quite dead. We are just almost entirely dead. So this is the thing that I am thinking about this format, is that if you draw 1 land too many or too few, you are royally boned. Do you have any creatures left? I thought I got, yeah, I got rid of all the creatures. Like, you are just royally boned if you draw 1 land too many or too few. And this is all we're drawing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. 50% of my lands. More than 50% of my lands in the top 50% of my deck. Cool. 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 Huh. Okay. We need to... They don't have many creatures, which means Libation may be better. I don't think we're aggroing, so I think we can take out Triumph. And we could arguably even take out Underworld Ragehound for another Libation. I don't know if we have any way of dealing with... Yeah, we have no way of dealing with the Shadow Spear directly. So I had the idea of the Satyr's Cunning as just like a whole bunch of extra sack outlets. They don't block, but I saw somebody do it once, and maybe I too could do it. But what would we take out for it? Perhaps one of the Omens, because again, they don't seem to have many creatures. So let's go with that and see what we can do. We'll play first. Sure. We'll say this is okay. We have a Satyr's Cunning on 1. We've got Libation on 3, should they have a creature down or an enchantment. If they don't hit the ground running, we can 1 them to death, right? We can get there. We can do this. Should this be bigger? That should be a bit bigger. There we go. But yeah, let me know if you figured out this format at all. Like I said, I'm 21 drafts in and I've never trophied, and I've rarely 2-in-1'd. It is... I've had bad formats before. This is comically, unprecedentedly, I don't know if that's a word, bad for me. Yeah, 36% at one point, 40-ish%. These are win percentages that I've never been at in my life. And it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild and makes me question what I do about this format. So, Omen of the Forge. I don't super want to hit a Piper with it, but I could. I probably can't hit an Enemy of Enlightenment with it. I can't hit a Gary with it. I can't hit a Nyxborn Marauder. So I think we just deal 2 to them. Use our mana, deal damage. So we'll smashy smashy for 1. Hold up this Libation for their removal, because if they want to spend removal on a 1/1 Satyr token that can't block, you be my guest. This time around, they're going to name... Why did they minimize Prophecy last time? Devourer of Memory. Maybe I read it wrong, actually. I think I was probably reading the blue text. Yeah, I probably read it wrong, and you're all probably yelling at me. Elite Instructor. Sure, we are going to have you sacrifice a creature, please. And thank you. Also, notably, creature that we could kill with Omen of the Forge. But we didn't know about it. So they're going to loot, throwing away a Farika's Libation. That is a bleeper that we can't cast. Now this to flashback is... Oh, it's 3 to flashback? Gross. That's so expensive. How did... Man, I must have been so bad in that match where my opponent recast this like 7 times. So we're just going to scry here on their turn. See if we can find, I guess, some lands or the things that we're desperately looking for. Devourer's cute. Luckily, the bleeper will pretty heavily murder it. All right, so we're gonna scry. I think I want the land so that I can get War Leader down, although we could Mogus's Favor right here, right now to keep them off creatures. I mean, War Leader is just going to eat removal at some point very quickly. So, you know what? Let's draw the Favor first. I'll also offer a trade if they want and keep the Favor. Opponent says no, so we'll kill it anyways. And then we will bring back the Satyr's Cunning, exiling Libation and Omen. Haha, 2 Satyrs. Got him. Got him good. They're going to look at the top card of my library, see that it's a mountain. The trick is we really need that War Leader to live a turn. They're going to Gary, sure, that's going to hold off my attacks. There's our mountain, here's our War Leader. Pass that turn. I can ask them to not kill the War Leader, but they're going to. Ichthyo? Ichthyode. And then what? And then a Piper. Sure thing. Alright, they're down to 4 cards. We're getting there. But this honestly just feels pretty unwinnable. We can Iris's Blessing and kill Gary at least. So we can jam this on, I guess a 1-2 is better than a 2-2. Because the 2-2 is not attacking. Does that make any sense? Not really. Well, let's Blessing up a Satyr. Let's pretend that we have Omen of the Dead, I guess. Blessing up the Satyr, kill the Merchant. And attack with this Satyr. Alright, 18-15. But their deck is Value Town. Man, I thought our deck looked fine. Like, tell me in the comments how it was trash, I guess, but I thought it was a fine. So we'll sack Scophos here, which means we can bring back Satyr's Cunning again. Actually, Blood Aspirant will get a counter next turn, eh? When we sack the Inevitable End. Oh, we can also Mogus's Favor if we get rid of the Satyr's Cunning forever. You know what? I don't hate this. So let's do Mogus's Favor, kill the Piper, get your goat, enjoy your goat. We'll attack in for 3, try to take him down to 12, and then we'll drop the Aspirant. If the Aspirant lives, which I don't think it will, when we sack this Satyr next turn, this becomes a 2-2. We do need to find a second swamp at some point. And they must have a hand just chock full of stuff. So we'll sack this Satyr, get a counter on our Aspirant. Find another Portent, eh? Welp. Let's attack on in for 4. Next turn we will sack the Satyr, but I do expect this Aspirant to just bite it at some point soon. Block there, sure thing. Take 2 down to 10. Okay, they are goatless. I repeat, they are goatless. The Vexing Gull. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to play as though they don't have removal. Swamp would be huge, but a land would also let us Portent and kill the Gull. That's rude. Actually, that's fine. We deal 1 to the Gull. We sack the Satyr. Oh no, the token, or yeah, this ability is still there. For a second I thought it wasn't because it was a red ability. But yeah, this gives the ability to the creature, so it is their ability that's happening. So we got a point of damage dealt to the Gull, I guess, but we have to sack the Blood Aspirant anyways. Our opponent's deck is just like way too good. It's going to be an exceptional challenge. We can Mogus's Favor this to finish it off at least. You know, like there's some interesting things here that we're doing, but we're doing them with our back just like utterly against the wall. That's been something else that I talked about on the stream, is I've never felt so helpless playing Magic than I have in these 20 or so drafts. There's so many games where I'm just like, I'm just smashing my head into the wall over and over again. Yeah, I guess we have to drop Bleeper and just pretend they don't have removal or anything in hand, and that we're going to get in for 3 a few times. That sure is dead as well. So, if I trust that my opponent is playing by the rules of proper draft, they only have 5 or 6 real cards left in their entire deck. That's suggesting that they are playing 7 lands. We're going to pass the turn. We can Final Death whatever they play. I expect we're just going to see a Scry 2 here off the Omen. I guess we're really holding out hope for our Soul Reaper, Lampad, Blood Dude, Blood Priest of Mogus, the black-red guy who also sacks, so that we can actually put those portents to use. They have just been so good at answering our offensive here. Well, our offensive. We weren't ever really an offensive deck. So unfortunately, I think we just lost the rock, paper, scissors match of being paired up against a deck with enough spot removal that we can't do anything about it. What you gonna drop? Nyxborn Marauder. Well, we'll Final Death that. No creatures allowed for you. That's a mountain. We'll play that and pass the turn. So I've got 9 lands left out of 21. It's still a fair number of lands. We've not flooded this game. Not at all. Our opponent theoretically should start flooding at some point. Unless their hand is in fact just chock full of lands. Where did their Omen of the Sea Scry go? Bottom. Okay. So it's possible that they are sitting with a handful of lands and scryed some lands to the bottom, which means the top of their deck could be pretty gas dense. Well, opponent. How gassy are you? Moderately gassy, but that requires a creature. Unfortunately, we are chock full of lands. All right, that's 9 lands. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. So we are down to 8 in the top 20. 4 out of 10. That's another land, so we'll continue passing the turn. Seems like we're both flooding. But they are going to hit creatures at some point, and I feel like we are less likely to hit creatures. Oh, that's one way to hit a creature. What are they going to grab? Possibly just Nyxborn? Nyxborn does damage faster. They're going to grab Gary. I don't know that that's right. I mean, it has bigger toughness, I guess, but I think people do overvalue Gary a lot. I think people remember it from original Theros draft, and I think even more so people remember it from standard. And as a non-common in this format, it's still very good, but I think people do overvalue it. Meanwhile, we've drawn nothing but lands forever. So, okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are down to 6 lands in our top 18. Just gotta give me a Lampad. Man, a Lampad, and we can steal and sack in the same turn. Unfortunately, they do have a ludicrous number of cards in hand. There's no way they're all lands. I would expect there must be some amount of removal in there. Some days, eh? Some days. Some days. That is why we have a Lands Y emote in my Twitch chat. So that is 12 lands. We have 5 left in the top 17. We get a final flare that we can't use. We can use this in a very tricky roundabout way. We're going to Mogus's favor the Grey Merchant. What am I doing? The opponent asks. Why would I do that? Have I given up? I am going to final flare, sacking the Mogus's favor, killing Gary. That's why I did that. Oh, I had the mana to steal it. Y'all are really yelling at me now, aren't you? I was just so stuck on I can't cast Portent of Betrayal that I didn't even think about casting Portent of Betrayal. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I mean, not huge. The difference would be that they would be at 16 and I would be at 12. I don't think that was game ending. Inevitable end. I mean, at this point, we might be just playing for the mill. We might be playing for them to mill. They're down to 10 cards in hand. And we have answers for a whole lot of things. This can't be Enemy of Enlightenment. It does die next. So it doesn't die because of Shadow Spear. It'll die because of Inevitable End, but it doesn't die because of Shadow Spear. Scavenging Harpy. Now, is there anything I could do with Portent here that's nifty? I steal Portent, or I steal it with Portent. And it's a 6/6 right now? Oh, I wish this actually told me. It's a 5/5 plus 1/1, so I steal it and it becomes a 0/0. So this is a kill spell. And I would love another Inevitable End because I think this is how we win. I think we're winning through mill. Let's drop Scavenging Harpy, get rid of the enemy. I think mill's how we win. They're going to play a land and pass. Sounds good. There's that Inevitable End. Unless they're packing like a Kiora Best the Sea God or something, I think there's a chance we have this. We can answer 2 full creatures of theirs, and they've played nothing. They've also presumably scryed at least some number of lands to the bottom. Freaka's Libation, sure thing. Land and go. I think this is our plan. So now we also want to play a little bit faster. 12, 11, 10, 9. We can afford this. Barely, but we can afford this. We now need to not draw any more cards. What do we get rid of? A libation? That would have been okay. Mountain and a swamp. Does libation? Libations target opponent, so you can't steal and target yourself. Fair. So yeah, we want to make sure that we're playing rather fast here, because this could also come down to time. So we'll smash in for 3. They'll use removal that we were super duper confident they had. We'll drop a Nyxborn Marauder and we'll pass the turn. We could put Mox's Favor on, but honestly I just want to save a bit of time. So they still have what? A drag? Nope, they've cast their Drag to the Underworld. They've cast their Death. We've actually seen most of their removal that we saw in game 1. Is that a third Libation? 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 That was a third Farika's Libation. What an odd deck. So they've got a Lampad. They're going to jam that Shadow Spear on the Lampad. Somewhat hilariously, we can actually just portent that Lampad and then sack it to itself after the attack, which is precisely what we'll do. Give. Theoretically, they should sack this in response. I love that our portents have just been direct removal. All right, so we'll drop Shadow and pass the turn. They're down to 6 cards, and we've got a minute on them. So we found it. We found out how to beat this person. We just don't play creatures. That's thinking. That is thinking. Ichthyo it up. Ichthyo it up. Blight Breath. Honestly, we don't need to play creatures at this point. And it's better, I think, to keep Blight Breath to potentially kill something rather than dilly-dally around any other way. So Blight Breath doesn't kill that Lampad, unfortunately, but Inevitable End certainly will. So let's Inevitable End it, and F6. They should sack in response. Let's turn off auto yields just in case this is something other than sack in response. Nope, sack in response, back to F6ing. Pass the turn, and I still have answers for ya things. Looks like they've got nothing. We've got ourselves a Timuret. And we will pass the turn. We're starting to buy back some time. They're going to Final Death my Timuret. Jesus. How many creatures do you even have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll continue that counting. 4, where was I? Piper. 5, 6, 7, 8. They've got 8 creatures in their deck? Alright, we'll do the same thing to them. We'll do the same thing to them. If we can answer their creatures, they can't do anything. What a weird matchup. What a weird matchup. We could bring in Revelers to kill that that Shadow Spear. It's not a bad idea. Let's bring in Revelers, and Harpy's a pain because, like, if they stumble, Harpy's just going to win it. But I think we have to trust that their game plan is going to happen, and as a result, this is just a 2/1 that's going to come into the battlefield, exile a meaningless card, and then die. Whereas this is going to come in, and regardless of what happens to it, kill Shadow Spear. So we'll go back in, and we've got a chance. We could even win this on time. Who knows? 8 minutes, 25 seconds. I doubt it. That is a pretty large amount of time. I know a lot of people will freak out when they're below like 15 minutes and be like, you got to play fast. I have played entire games of MTGO in like 3 minutes. Unfortunately, this hand is not a keeper. This hand is, though. We'll keep that, and honestly, I think creatures might be our downfall here. So I think we pitch Blood Aspirant and keep the removal. And we just answer their stuff 1 for 1. There's a chance that Blessing should have been what we discard, because, of course, if we don't get a creature, we can't use this. But I expect we'll get something at some point that might live a turn, maybe? Probably not. Right on into a Piper. Sure Thingerino. We'll pass the turn. We'll Omen the Piper. 2-1's a lot scarier than an 0-1. Time to burn the Piper. Get your goat. Pass the turn. Sounds good. Irreverent Revelers, there we go. We are prepped for Shadow Spear. Unfortunately, they don't have it, or they would have cast it. They're going to send a message with that goat, which honestly just wastes a few more of their precious seconds. Message sent with the goat. And a pass of the turn with a missed land drop. Well, here we go. Let's pass that turn. I'm going to keep this around just for a little bit, just because Final Flare with it does represent removal. They found a land, okay. I think we are just now going to utterly flip into their style of playing here. We're going to Libation their enchantment. Goodbye. Portent. I could portent their goat and send them a message. They're going to Lampad. That's fine. I figure we inevitable end their Lampad. Yeah, let's inevitable end the Lampad. I wonder if they actually sack goat and sack Lampad here just to get in a couple points. Because what's the goat doing, right? The goat's going to do nothing. Yeah, there we go. They did. The goat's going to do nothing unless they happen to hit Shadow Spear. All right, so goodbye to all that. You did it. Unfortunately, our sack outlets are not going to live. So our portent really needs to be some other special variety of removal. With 7 mana, so 1 more mana, we do have Portent Final Flare online. But we're just going to pass the turn back and forth here. We're ahead on cards. We don't need to do anything here. We don't need to do anything. They're also super screwed. This is turn 9 and they're stuck on 4 lands. That is unfortunate. Elite Instructor, sure thing. They are going to loot, discarding presumably a non-land. Down goes the Ixio. And yeah, I've got no interest in killing an X2. Especially not when we can drop this. Drop our Nyxborn. They will presumably kill that with something, which means in response we could Final Flare it. Ixio, that's fine. I'd really like to keep the Final Flare for the Portent, so I think I'll take 2 here. Ooh, a Soul Reaper, eh? Soul Reaper turning Nyxborn Marauder into a card will be nice. Now this could actually mess up our mill. No, they're at 22. We'll go down to 23. For some reason, I thought we briefly had 23, but no, we're definitely at 24 cards in our library. So I'm thinking we've got a chance. It's a weird chance, and it means this is going to be a long video. It's apparently already almost an hour, and we're not through match 1 yet. Oh boy. Oh boy. No attacks. I like it. We are certainly going to draw ourselves a card here. Interesting that they haven't just like snap killed my Soul Reaper. Now they're going to do it. Sure, that's fine. I draw a card. It's a mountain. Hurrah! We are going to still not kill that elite instructor. It's still not a problem. Still not a problem. Yes, yes, pause and waste more of your precious time. There we go. They are down to 5 minutes, which is still a huge amount of time. They will mill out before they time out here for sure. So we'll take 2. 2 is not a threat. 2 is not a threat. Down to 14. What you got, friendo? Underworld Dreams. Oh. Okay. Devourer of Memory. Huh. Huh. That feels like a slight problem. We're going to drop Lampad. We're going to Portent of Betrayal this Devourer here. I do not want that swamp. We are going to attack in for 1 or 2, rather. Huh. Huh. What an interesting sideboard. I mean, we're going to sack your Devourer. Huh. Huh. So we're on a 14-turn clock. Huh. Huh. Oh, Jesus. Uh-huh. Huh. This is going to work for them. This is just going to work for them. That's wild. We are going to Lampad. We are going to Portent your Gary. Satyr's Cunning ain't going to do it. We will attack with your Gary. We will sack your Gary. Pass the turn. They are gonna get there. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. I don't think we have another Pharika's Libation. I think we do. I think we do. I think we do. We do. I have to sack a creature. Well, did I F? I must have F2'd through. Huh. Well, that's a pain. We should actually be at 6. Scophos's War Leader, eh? Let's Erebus's Blessing it. Kill that. 4-turn clock. So I guess in our upkeep, we're going to have to actually... Oh, they've got an enchantment. Oh, I can't even libation them now. Fudge. All right, we need to scry. Catablipus. These both have to go to the bottom. We have to have them... Oh, it's sacrifice another creature, sure. To target creature. We have to have them get rid of this Omen of the Sea, which hopefully they do here. And then B, we have 2 turns to find Pharika's Libation. What a match. What a match. What a match where I feel like both players have felt overwhelming helplessness. I firmly stand behind this set being really poorly. Having incredibly cool cards and really cool interactions and just being a horrible, miserable pile of trash as far as being a draft format goes. So we're 0-1. Let's go into round 2. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not having fun with the set is the thing. There's no fun in the matchups. There's fun in the moments, You know, like where I was able to like steal their Enemy of Enlightenment, which made it die because of how many cards they had in their deck. That was a cool moment and cool interaction. But the match just left me feeling helpless and uninterested in Magic as a whole. So Chaos Draft comes online next week for 1 week, which I'm very happy about. We'll be streaming that next week on Twitch instead of streaming this. Mystery Booster comes out in paper. I'm hoping that that is not expensive for any reason or under-ordered by my local store. Yeah, we've got some stuff that can save me, because currently I am very much failing to find the fun in this format. I'm mostly finding the frustration. So opponents on white. White what? Is it the mono white deck? I've played it myself. I've run into it a number of times. Kenji is currently pushing it as the deck to play. Well, let's smashy smashy. And I guess we drop a Blood Aspirant. I don't 100% know what the correct play is here. They're both 1/1s. Or 1 power, rather. But if we start sacking stuff, that Aspirant's going to get much bigger. Okay, they're white-blue. Well, of course, there is one card that we do need to politely ask our opponent. Because it's turn 3, we can politely ask them right now. Politely ask them to not have. And then we'll get progressively less polite as time goes on. Let's hope. Let's hope they don't have that. We'll bash in for 2 here. Indomitable Will not save them because we can just sack our Aspirant. Threnody Singer still doesn't exactly save you. Makes this a 1/2. I can still sack my Aspirant. And I will, I think. Yeah, if they double block, I sack the Aspirant. This becomes a 3/2 first strike. I eat the bird. But maybe they just want to prevent 1 damage here and keep both their creatures. If that's the case, I'm not going to sack to kill the bird. I'll just drop my Nyxborn Marauder, because that's going to build up for a much better Blight Breath. Ooh, don't even want to risk their bird. All right, let's drop the Marauder. Pass that turn. So at least on Spikey Saturdays, I'm 2-1 and 2-1. So I've got an amazing 4-2 record on these videos. I hope we don't go 0-2, because then you'll all see how currently the majority of my experiences have been. What happened there? Click portrait, click oops. I will take 1. I mean, I'm assuming there is a different aura in their hand. And that aura is the aura they wanted to put on the Pious Wayfarer. That's the assumption that I will operate on at the moment. As a result, we are going to keep this Omen in the Forge at the ready, assuming that a Staggering Insight or something is going to be coming down. So we'll get in for 4. We're not doing anything else, so we'll just play the Lampad holding up the Omen. So I'm stuck on 4. Opponent's not missed a land drop. Taking 2 is fine. Ain't no problems there whatsoever. And a pass of the turn. Opponent, are you holding up a counter spell of some variety? You have to tell me if you are. Also, blah! Turtle? Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna kill your turtle. That turtle presents like a minor threat to our, not to us directly, but a threat to our plan. So we'll do that. Take him to 9. I do appreciate that our opponent is named Blue Juggernaut and they're playing blue. It's on brand. No attacks. Sounds good. That seems to me like they are a little bit more defensive than they were just a moment ago. So I think we're going to Triumph. And we're going to hit the Nyxborn Marauder here. And smash in for 5 trample. Smash in for 5 trample. More Threnody Singers, that is -3, so it's a 2/3 trample. Which means if they triple block, they can kill it, but I still get to kill their bird. Still get to kill one of the birds. Down you go. Still feeling good. We'll start transferring that Triumph into the Slaughter Priest, especially since it can get first strike on demand from the Omen even. So still seems like we're in a good spot. They are at 6 mana, which is where we have to very angrily ask with perhaps swear words that they don't have Dream Trawler. Luckily they don't. They have Archon, which will bring back an Envoy, which is not a terrible problem. So this is going to be a 4/2 with the sack. It will be a 6/2 trample first strike. Holy moly, it's gonna be big. Boop. Now let's read this carefully. It always gets +2/+0 when anything is sacked for any reason. It only gets first strike if it is the thing that sacks. So we'll come in for 4. I fully expect them to put the Archon in front, and that's fine. Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage, friendo. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, they take 5, they go to 4. Oh, friendo. Oh, friendo, you're gonna die pretty soon. So that'll take him to 5. We could just sack the Triumph and take him to 2, and then they're dead off of the Lampad sacking 2 things. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go for the win, sack the Triumph. Hit him for 7 trample. Take him to 2, and they are dead if we untap. If we untap with the Lampad, of course. It's possible that was too aggressive, that they do have an answer for the Lampad. Sea God Scorn doesn't do it. They still just die. Because we play Lampad, we play Blood. Oh no, we need one more land. We need one more land to pull this off. Yeah, there we go. We go Lampad. We go Blood Aspirant. We sack the Blood Aspirant. And then we sack the Lampad. Done and done. Done and done. All right, we won a game. I guess we won a game before by milling them. We have won 2 games. Exciting. So Flyers, blue-white Flyers, minor enchantment theme. Presumably no escape, so no cling to dust. Farika's Libation, I don't think is the plan. Underworld Fires, we didn't see any Reverent Hoplites. Didn't see anything for any reason that I think we should side. So let's go back in and try to win another game. If we don't, at least it's a shorter video. And if we do, well, maybe my win percentage goes up a tiny bit. I hope. All right. What do we got? We've got a hand that is fine enough that we can't possibly mulligan it. We get an Aspirant on 2. If we hit a Swamp, which we're more likely to hit than a Mountain, we can get a Timurit. So we'll lead with that swamp for sure. They have mulled. There's an opening. Does the opening get any bigger? It gets a little smaller. A little smaller. A little smaller. No 2-drop. Opening's bigger. Although it could be a Threnody Singer. That's not even slightly a swamp. Let's drop the Blood Aspirant. I guess our deck was pretty aggro last time. We didn't even do any Portent of Betrayal or overly shenanigan-y sacking stuff. Alright, so our opponent definitely has a Threnody Singer in hand. So we're obviously not attacking. We'll drop ourselves a Mr. Timurit here. And we'll pass the turn. We are just absolutely not walking into a Threnody Singer. No way, no how. What would Mogus's Favor do to a Timurit? Doesn't matter because it's an 0-1 fish. Would have been like a 4-2, I think. Well, we are going to do a fair bit of powerful nothing here. We will sack that Timurit, though, to the Blood Aspirant during their turn. Can I do that? Yeah, it's an instant speed effect. Yeah. Is there a Sacco? There's not a Sacco. There's something in this set that can only be done on your turn, and it's kind of surprising to me that it's a sorcery speed effect. Maybe it's, I think, Wolf Willow Hollow. Maybe you can only do on your turn, which is a little odd, but whatevs. All right, so we'll sack Timurit. Oh, right, we do have to do 1 damage to something. We'll do 1 damage to Timurit, sacking Timurit. Getting a counter. And then I guess we'll just drop a Scophos War Leader. We're definitely just building up to some Portent of Betrayal shenanigans this game, I think. So let's drop the War Leader. Pretty please, no removal. Or counterspells, no counterspells. Cool. If they had counters, there's basically no way they wouldn't have countered a 4-5 unless they have more Ichthyos in hand or something. But I am not walking into a Threnody Singer. Stern Dismissal. They're not mad. They're just disappointed in me. Witness of Tomorrow. Oh, Witness. You're going to witness something right now. I have enough mana, right? 4, 5, 6. Yes. Witness this. Steal. Venomous Hierophant's a cool card. I like that. Smash. And then smash the Witness. Smashy smashy. Thanks, opponent. That bird was very helpful. Trey helpful. Pass of the turn. I love it. So, I mean, we are getting to a point where Threnody Singer is a lot less problematic. The turtle's honestly a little bit more of a pain. But we'll drop this Hierophant. Because Hierophant can walk into that turtle, no problem. We lose an Iris's Blessing and a Scavenging Harpy. We could have used that Blessing. But that's fine. We'll pass the turn. No attacks here. Not attacking into your bird. Oh, hi. Hi. What do? What do? What do? What do? What do? We need one more black pip. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more black pip, and it's just dead to the bleeper. We can attack in with the Hierophant, unless they do in fact have birds, and I'm ludicrously confident they have birds. There's basically 0% chance they don't have Threnody Singers. So we're going to take 4, and I guess we're just, yeah, really hoping for another pip at some point. There's another pip and an answer. Another pip and an answer. You know what? No, because the bird... Yeah, the bird would just totally ruin that, and nothing good would happen for me. So we'll pass the turn. It could be they don't have Threnody Singers, but I think it's still correct to assume that they do. We saw two. They're not playing things. They're 3 lands behind. So yeah, they have something in hand that they're not playing out. We can drop a bleeper now. Kill the Naiad. Goodbye, Naiad. And I think now we test the birds, because now they're not going to be able to minimize that. They take 3. They're successfully bluffing me here that they in fact don't have birds. So as a result, we're going to attack in for 6 this turn. Test the birds again. I should have played the Lampad here if I'm going to be doing this. Test for birds. No birds. Yeah, maybe I just overthought myself here. Well, we got one more turn to test the no bird theory before they just bite it. Brine Giant, don't care. Don't care one bit. They're just dead, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. I'll jam a Mogus's Favor on the Aspirant. And then I will hit the Brine Giant, sacking the Mogus's Favor. It cannot block. And attack for 1 billion. Got him. Well, that played out well. I'm guessing my opponent must have been stuck on mana. Maybe they just had nothing but white cards in hand. That's unfortunate. Well, we're 1-1. We're 1-1, so at least we're not going to 0-2. Let's see if we can 2-1. I'd be happy if we just 2-1 to every Spikey Saturday. Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. Now, I am trying to remember what my current record is. 23-34, so I'm 24-35 now. Let's see if we can go 25-35. What would that put me at? That would put me at a whopping 41.6% win rate. I am currently at a 40.6 win rate. I don't know, man. This format has kicked my butt. Just like when I say unprecedented, I mean literally since I have started drafting, which was original Innistrad, I have never had a win percentage this low. Not sustained. Sure, I've had, 6 bad drafts in a row or something. Not sustained. And I will say, I do pretty firmly believe this format is very poorly designed from a draft perspective. Black, one color should not have nearly 100% playable to good commons. You can have every color have that. Or you can have, as Magic sets have generally been in the past, have no colors have that. But you cannot have one color have that. That is no bueno. But for as much as I do firmly believe that this set is poorly designed, I have to assume, that some part of this, like large part of this, is me just not getting it. Maybe I can't break those rules. Maybe I can't be the person who just drafts whatever I feel like, because I want draft to be a game that I can be skilled at. And if I can just draft whatever I feel like, why should I practice being a drafter, right? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the format continues on. There's a whole lot of time left. I think how much early the format's coming online due to Arena and MTGO and such, and how much experience we're getting with formats really dilates the time, or speeds up the time. It does one direction to the time, where it feels like I've been drafting this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And in actuality, it's been 2 weeks and a day. It's only been out in paper for 7 days, which is wild. So they passed the turn with a whole lot of mana open and cards in hand, which is kind of scary. We are just going to ask one time, please, can I kill your Nessian Wanderer? Because it's a very good card. Please? Looks like they're going to allow it. Please? Can't be stern dismissal, because if it was stern dismissal, they would have had to have done it earlier than this. Starlit Mantle. Well, that's going to do it. That'll work. That'll work. Also lets them find an enchantment or land. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Sorry about that. All right, so they've got a 2/4. That's going to be a little bit harder to deal with. I wonder if this is one of those decks that I've been hearing about, where you just play whatever colors you want. You can play 4 colors if you want. Why not play 4 colors? Because that's the thing that has definitely been talked about a little bit, and is very, very, very reminiscent of Arrow Devastation. Arrow Devastation, one of the main reasons I hated it is that green 5-color or green 4-color was such a massive deck in that format. And the same thing kind of happened. With cycling and with the mana fixing at common, it meant that you just kind of drafted whatever you wanted to. You know, your green black and a good blue card comes along, grab that, and then a white card comes along, grab that too, and smash it all together, roll the dice, hope that your mana works out, and trophy. And that is so far away from how I like to play Magic. The main phase, Dreadful Apathy. Okay. Okay. Well, we are going to drop Mr. Timurit here. And you know what? Olmog's favor as well. Let's really build up this Soul Reaper. And attack on in for 5. Hope they don't have another Starlit Mantle. Or an Indomitable Will. Do I want to just assume they have an Indomitable Will? I wish I knew what colors they were. Let's assume they don't have an Indomitable Will. Please? I'm assuming they're green-blue, splashing Dreadful Apathy. Vexing Gull. That continues to suggest they're blue. Like, I can't really see blue-white and them splashing Nessian Wanderer. Glory Bearers. Well, I can't see them splashing Glory Bearers. This might just be a 3-color deck. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can kill anything we want with Catoblepas, and I think it'll be the Wanderer. We just can't have them pulling out so many lands. In for 2, that's fine. We'll rip their Dreadful Apathy. This is up to 2, right? Yeah, up to 2, so we don't have to exile our Final Death. Not that it is a card that we could actually bring back. Alright, so we'll drop Bleeper. Although, we can kill Glory Bearers and attack in for 5. Let's assume the Wanderer is not going to give them enough value. Kill that. Attack on in for 5 again. See if we can take him to 10, or at least kill that Wanderer. I'd be happy with both. Take him to 10. Cool beans. It'd be great if we had a Grey Merchant right now, eh? Elite Inquisitor. So they are blue. They are definitely blue. Throws away a forest. That would almost suggest that they are splashing green. What would you splash green for in blue-white? Eutropia, maybe. Omen of the Sea, sure thing. They're going to find more land off of that Wanderer. And they're going to do some scrying. Nope, not chat. Game log. And once again, I need to stop recording on Friday because I am really running up against F&M here. These take way longer than I expect they should. Bottom top, sure thing. And what did you go and find? You found a Plains and you just played that Plains? No, I think you played an island. Yeah, they played an island. They have a Plains in hand. No attacks, I'm going to bet. No attacks going to happen here. All right. Well, we need to draw some cards that aren't lands. But that is most definitely what we're doing. Attacking in with Timurit doesn't do anything. They just block with their 2/4. Attacking in with a 5/3 kills one thing, which is not quite enough for me, so we're just going to have to pass the turn here. They're going to scry 2. That's fine. You already scried one. Or no, you scried one to the top, but you drew it. Bottom. Sounds good. Blind draw for them. They're super behind on cards. But I'm not going... Oh, dear. Well, now we have to find some removal. Really badly. Really badly. So we need to keep this alive because we need to find portents. So our Catoblepus actually looks a lot less important right now. So I'll actually sack that, turn that into a card, see if we can try to find an answer for this as soon as possible. We will exile a couple of cards because we can. And we'll sack the Catoblepus. There we go. There's an answer. Inevitable ended. All right. Solid answer. Solid answer. And we'll just play out our land so that we can see about sacking. I assume they're just going to sack the bird. Maybe they sack the instructor to get one more hit in with the bird. That's what they do. They might try to stay ahead of it. I don't think they can stay ahead of it for 5 turns, but drawing a card every turn will help them for sure. I'll probably sack the Lampad. As useful as the Lampad is, we do need to find like continued removal. Omen, sure thing. They are definitely going to flirt a little bit too much with milling themselves out. I believe they've played both of these planes now. They whiffed on lands there. Which means they're actually going to get dangerously close to scrying the lands that they've put on the bottom. Let's see what happens with this Omen. Top, bottom. Top, bottom draws the card. Attacks me for 3, draws another card. Plays a Sunmane Pegasus, so maybe now we'll see the Wanderer get sacked. And a Glory Bearers, okay. Okay, so they've got enough for Inevitable End to not be too big of a problem for the time being, so we still need to find some removal, so we are going to have to sack, I guess the Lampad. This can theoretically gain us a little bit more life. Sack the Lampad, draw a card. Draw a card. It's a Swamp, hurrah. Inevitable End. Let's Inevitable End their Sunmane Pegasus as well. Alright, so they can sack their Glory Bearer and their Wanderer if they want to, but they can't possibly keep up with 2 Inevitable Ends. The Inevitable Ends will get them in the end. Because in the end, nothing else matters. We get to gain 2 life, actually 4 life off of Timuret. We can exile Pegasus, Instructor, Lampad, and whatever else they sack here. Gain 4 life here, which means we actually gain a life this turn. They're going to crack their Omen and Scry in response. Uh, 11 lands, so they've got 6 out of... Yeah, they've got a lot of non-land cards left. This has got to be pretty close to a bottom-bottom, though, I think. Bottom-bottom. Okay, what else are you going to sack? It's got to be... Like, maybe they do Glory Bearers and just try one more turn with the Gull? They give up the Gull. All right. Game looks a lot different now. Man, there's only 5 lands we haven't seen out of their 16 cards. Oh, that's so much. All right, so let's Timuret away. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're back up to 15, and we draw a 3/1 that can't do anything and attacks each turn if able. But we can turn it into a card by sacking it, I guess. Do we want to do that this turn? We'd have 3 mana left. I'll do it on my turn. We can block if they happen to attack, but they're not going to attack. I think we're playing another mill game here. That is what I think it's going to come down to. Plays another land, drops a turtle. Turtle's not a problem, because we have utterly morphed into a long game deck. No attacks. Sounds good. We are going to sack that Underworld, getting a Final Flare. Okay. Omen of the Forge, sure thing. Doesn't do anything, eh? We'll pass the turn. We've got the Omen. If they do play an X2 at some point, we can kill it with that, and then Final Flare can kill off something else. And yeah, I think this is just going to be another very, very, very long game where we mill them out. So let's play to that. Pass the turn. We're going to exile these 2 cards in their graveyard. Pass the turn back. Nyxborn Marauder, sure, creatures are fun. And we'll pass the turn. So I think we, barring them, you know, just dropping a friggin' Dream Trawler or something, I think we've won. Kiora Best the Sea God would also be a pretty significant problem. Heliod's Pilgrim, that's fine, I think. Depends on what they show me, I guess. Maybe they're splashing Mantle of the Wolf. Finds nothing. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. They have nothing left there. Cataplepas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get to kill whatever we want. May as well kill the threat, I suppose. The 3/4. And then we'll pass the turn. So next turn, can we attack? Still no? We could attack in with Soul Reaper, I guess, but then we'd have no sack outlets other than a Final Flare. So they've got 4 lands left out of a dozen cards. That means they have 8 real cards left. And we just can't find them. Our opponent passes the turn. All right, Triumph of Annex. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. We are going to Triumph of Annex our Nyxborn Marauder. Make it a 5/3, attack on in. If they double block, we will shoot the Heliod's Pilgrim, and that'll be the end of that. So maybe we still will kill them on damage. Double block would be about the best thing that could happen here. They just take it. Okay. I think our opponent maybe realizes that this game is not going to go their way. So what do they have? They don't have removal, or they'd be casting it. They don't have counter spells. They've had the mana open for us to go into it. Maybe they have a Thassa's Oracle. Like, we can't assume that they have a specific rare, but if they do have a Thassa's Oracle, they are going to get us. Unless we can get them by, like, ripping out the blue pip that they need with the trigger on the stack. Sentinel's Eyes on their turtle? Okay. That is a thing that you have done. Alright, so we'll Timuret and gain a life, because why not? And this Nyxborn Marauder is not doing anything, so we may as well draw a card. A swamp. Another swamp. We could make Timuret be a 3 or be a 4/6. That seems good. Because then we can get through that turtle. So we come in for 4, they're going to put the turtle in front and say, haha, why'd you do that? We can then omen the turtle, and the turtle's gone. He'll be a 5/6 next turn. Two damage on the turtle, 4 damage on the turtle, dead turtle. Pass the turn. We're actually pretty close to the Underworld Rager coming back. Underworld Ragehound, that is. Let's get rid of that Sentinel's Eyes. They really should have brought that back, because now it's never coming back. Slaughter Priest of Mogus. Cool, cool. And I think maybe we do actually just win this on damage. Let's come on in for 5. And yeah, I think we're going to close this out on damage. We'll drop the Slaughter Priest. You actually sacrifice your triumphs. When they go away, they don't just go away magically. They do sacrifice after Act 4, it says. Which means this will be a 4/2. And our Timuret... Yep, there we go. All right, so we won game 1. They've got 12 minutes left for game 2 and game 3. Let's hope game 2 just ends quickly instead. No real sideboard. What were they... Did we ever figure out what they were playing? I forgot to look. They were playing green, blue. Right? Did we... No. Were they blue, white? Splashing for the Nessian Wanderer? Yeah, they had to have been. They're splashing for a Nessian Wanderer. That's very weird. There must be something. There's no Mantle of the Wolf. They would have gone and found it with the Heliod's Pilgrim. Nylea doesn't make any sense. What's the other green mythic? Is there another green mythic? Set Theros. Color green. Rarity. Mythic. Maybe they have Calyx. Maybe they have Calyx. That would be pretty good, actually. Yeah, maybe they have Calyx. That would be scary. Let's hope they don't. This is a hand that looks possibly awful. The Omen might keep us in this, but this looks like a really bad hand. On the draw up a game, I'm going to keep it. I think this hand loses more than it wins, though. The thing here is we can answer like a Vexing Gull or something, or even like rip an aura out from something. The Swamp, of course, makes this hand look way better. No 2-drop is perfect. Mogus's Favor also helps. All right, let's do it. Show me Heliod's Pilgrim, grabbing Staggering Insight, passing the turn, cast Staggering Insight, let me rip it out. They instead just pass the turn, which is great for us because we're going to build up to a hand that doesn't look as bad as it did not too long ago. Flash in the Vexing Gull. Sure thing. I can't do anything. You should throw a Staggering Insight on that. Just pop a Staggering Insight on it. It's a great card. On a flyer, it's even better. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Kill the bird. Staggering Insight goes away. And they're going to pass the turn, I expect. They're going to pass the turn, miss a land drop. And as long as our hand continues to cooperate like it just did, we are fine. We are fine. Ichthyomorphosis might screw us up a little bit. Same with Dreadful Apathy. But we've got time, and I think we just ruined a big part of their plan. Full on pass of the turn. I expect that means that a turtle's going to show up. So let's make a turtle not threatening. It does make another Vexing Gull threatening. I don't think we saw 2 Vexing Gulls. But it doesn't make it makes the turtle not threatening. Triumphant Surge. Okay. It makes that look pretty good. Now, we didn't see that in their main deck last game. And I don't know that it's correct to side it in against us, based on what they had seen. But they gained some life, killed a creature. Heliod's Pilgrim's going to go get... what? Other aura? Dreadful Apathy. It's going to go get a Dreadful Apathy. Yep, there it is. So, yeah. I think we're doing pretty okay. We're going to scry. We need to fix our stuff up a little bit here. Inevitable End and a Hierophant. I like that. Obviously, we need the Hierophant to not be what we play immediately next. Inevitable End on top as well. I'm not going to waste that on a Heliod's Pilgrim. So we're just going to pass the turn. We're going to pass the turn, no creatures, because we can't, but maybe our opponent will think that, aha, they got us. They showed that Dreadful Apathy and we can't do anything about it. But we actually got them. Or we can hope that we'll get them. Omen of the Sea. Probably bottom. Perfect. Well, our luck has turned around. Let's hope it stays there. They do have a lot of cards, though. We're going to take 1. 3, 4, 5. Still 2 lands behind. I guess we're still the same. So we'll take that. Give me a nice juicy threat for the inevitable end. Or give me nothing. Well, it's Hierophant. Mill some cards. Shouldn't be anything too impactful that will hit. It's the beauty of not having any rares in our deck. You know, we just hit Timorate, Scavenging Harpy, and Slaughter. Priest of Mogus. Alright, those were actually impactful. Actually a little bit impactful. So they'll Dreadful Apathy our Venomous Hierophant next turn. Hit us for 1. We're still super far ahead on time. We're actually not ahead on cards at the moment because of that Hierophant. But Catoblepas will come down, kill the Pilgrim, if we hit a land. I think we're fine. We just need to find a sack outlet so that we can have the Portents do something. We've lost... Well, that's going to put them behind on cards. Or no, to put them even on cards. We'll still be milling by 1. We've only lost 1 sack outlet, just the 1 sack outlet. So we still have a Blood Aspirant. We still have 1 land pad. We still have a Final Flare somewhere. I think we're still pretty okay here. We do need to see some cards get out of their hand, though. Protean Thaumaturge. Well, that we're going to kill for sure. Like, it doesn't have anything to actually be concerned about at the moment, but we'll still make it not be a thing. Land on top would be great, so that we could just cleanly Blight Breath it. I'd rather cleanly Blight Breath it than use up an inevitable end here. Well, we can Iroas's Blessing it. That's what we can do. As long as they don't Stern Dismissal me. They do not. Kill that Thaumaturge. Perhaps they have Starlit Mantle. But even then, what are they going to do? Turn it into a Hierophant? Big whoop. Starlit Mantle, turn it into a Hierophant, so we both have 4/4 Hierophants. Still not a big deal. Makes me slightly more interested in ending it. All right. You have a 4/4, I have a 4/4. I would rather have the end for the Pegasus, because flyers are going to be our weak point. They do have enough to just Dreadful Apathy and get rid of the thing. They may not know that Blight Breaths are potentially coming. So they're going to Apathy it. They're not going to change this to a 1/2 for no reason. They're down to 2 cards, so our ask of them getting less cards in hand has happened. I would expect they don't Apathy this, just because they probably want to keep up mana for the Omen. But we are just going to have to end that, because even if we Blight Breath is not enough. So yeah, let's just end that. They may even sack the Heliod's Pilgrim, again doing the thing that I don't think you should do, attempting to stay ahead, because they're not going to stay ahead long enough to take us to 0 from 14. All right, where did those cards go? Bottom. Perfect. All right, sack a creature. I'm pretty sure they're going to sack the Pilgrim. Ooh, they do not try to stay ahead. That's pretty good for us. 14 turn clock's a very slow clock with them with 6 minutes left. And we can just Catoblepas here, kill the Pilgrim. That is what we'll do. Even if they get rid of the Apathy, the Pilgrim still dies. Deny the Divine. That's fine. We have another for a reason. So they're down to 2 cards in hand. Blight Breath will still kill the Pilgrim. Sunmane Pegasus. Gross. Alright, so that's actually a threat. A very real threat. I need them to tap a mana, and they don't. So we can't kill Pegasus. Oh, yeah, this will do it. This will do it. I need way more mana than is humanly possible to do all of this in one turn. 9, 10, I need 10 mana, and that's not going to happen. So I think we have to drop the War Leader now. Hope it doesn't get countered or killed. Alternatively, we drop the Blight Breath to try to trick them out of some bit of removal. That's taking 2, play this next turn 4. That's taking 6 damage. That's too much to take. No, drop the War Leader. Get it going. No counterspell, cool. They didn't exile the Hierophant. Why? Sunmane Pegasus, flying and vigilant, good for it. We'll take 2, they'll go to 25. We are closing in on the 2-hour mark again. These videos are something else. Land, 2 cards in hand. I don't know if we just go for the Portent or not. Damn it. Damn. All right. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. We still have 2 more sack outlets that we can find. I hope. Let's Blight Breath. See if they Dreadful Apathy in response. They do, so they do know how it works. So we'll kill the Pilgrim. And now we are definitely on draw a sack outlet or else. There might be a game 3 here. It'll be a game 3 with them not having much time, but there will be a game 3, I think. Unless we hit a Lampad or a Blood Aspirant. Even the Blood Aspirant requires an additional turn. Lampad is pretty clean. We also have a final death that we could hit. Let's Mogus's Favor up because we're not doing anything else. Bash on in for 5. So we're only doing 3 a turn, so we've got them on a 7-turn clock. They've got us on a 4-turn. It's also very late. I'm going to probably have to quickly edit and hit render on this and run out the door to F&M. Taken 2 down to 6. They are in the red. They are at 4.5 minutes. Just need that Lampad. Just need that Lampad. There we go. Holy frickin' moly. Holy frickin' moly. Give me that, please. Wait. Something went really weird there. We'll put that on top. We will attack with the Sunmane and the Blight Breath. Why not? In for 7. Kill their Pegasus. And now we're a lot less scared. A lot less scared. We've got Inevitable End on top. Portent to remove something else. I think we come back to closing this game out. I will 100% block. They've got a Witness left in their deck, don't they? I really want answers about this card and how it happened, because it's honestly pathetic. to have a limited format ruined because of this. So, you know, cool. We don't get to do anything in this game anymore. Cool beans. Well, at least we'll hopefully win on time in round 3, or in game 3. But we don't get to play a game of Magic in which we win anymore. Because somebody was very, very, very bad at their job. So they're going to sack Glory Bearers. We're going to take 5, go to 2. They're going to go back up to 15. We can deal 6, take them to 9. Ain't going to do it, though. They're going to have 3 cards in their hand. They're going to have more than enough to do that. So yeah, we get to play the game in game 3 of don't let them draw this by turn 6. Cool. Cool Magic. Cool design. Flawless. Best designed set ever. Way better than Eldraine, says important professional Magic players. Blood Aspirant. Hooray. Hooray. I can gain, what, 3 life, go to 5, still just die? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Well, they're down to 3 minutes. Let's gain some life, shall we? Sack the Bleeper. Sack the Aspirant. Sack the Lampad. Go to a whopping 5 and die. What a mistake. Oh, opponent, don't waste your time. You can't be doing this. There you go. All right, so they've got 2 minutes 46 seconds, which, I mean, if they curve out into, wow, we were drawing crap, eh? If they curve out into Dream Trawler, they can easily win in 2 minutes. And if they don't, well, they're going to time out. But yeah, I think I like what our deck's been doing. This seems okay. I think it's got legs. I think we just die to variants, and I think this format is extraordinarily chock full of variants. We'll drop the Slaughter Priest, pass the turn. We are going to need some more lands, and we need them to... Ooh, cool, we get to kill that. We get to absolutely murder that. Let's smash in for 2. We'll hold up the Omen, and we'll Omen them. Kill the Thaumaturge. Inevitable End whatever else they play. Dreadful Apathy, that's a little rude. Kill that. Damn it. Well, we do have the Omen. The Omen's going to need to get us back into this. We need to see land, I think. Sunmane's really gross, but at least we have the end. Show me land. I cannot deal with either of those cards being on the top of my deck. So they're going to go to the bottom. Well, let's end the Pegasus. Let's hope they miss a land drop, because if they go land trawler, we just concede. I mean, we don't concede, we still try to time them out, but, you know. Pilgrim, pretty good. Starlit Mantle, good to know. Good to know. Land. Is this sack another creature? Sack another creature. They don't have it. Or they don't have the land for it. One of the two. And I'll take both. I will take both of those options. Alright. If we can just drop this war leader. Awesome. Drop the war leader. It sticks. Turtle, fine. No land. No trawler, please. Jesus Christ. All right. Brine Giant, that means they do not have trawler, so we just have to have them not have trawler. We are going to steal that Brine Giant, attack for 5, and then sack the Giant. They have Starlight Mantle and they have the Naiad. Yep, that was a mistake. That was a mistake, but hey, we got rid of the Starlit. We still have Inevitable End important, so we're still okay. I hate Magic. I hate Magic. I hate Theros. Well, that was my mistake, though. We should have just done nothing, I guess. We can still get back into this. Now we can steal this and sack it to the Slaughter Priest. So we'll do that. We get a Scry as well. A Swamp's not going to help us. So that gets rid of the Starlit Mantle. We get in for 5. They take it. And then we sack the Giant. So, I mean, we're still on like a 3-turn clock, 4-turn clock. Catoblepus will help us get rid of the Pilgrim. Nope, scratch that. We are instead going to have to kill the Naiad. So we'll take 4, go to 6. They get to draw a card. Yeah, we need to kill that. So we're on a 6-turn clock. Bleeper will get rid of the Pilgrim. Won't do much against the Glory Bearers, though. So we take 1, we go to 5. Omen of the Sea, sure. They are going to hit Dream Trawler at some point. Bottom, bottom. They know what they have to dig for. Also, what time is it? 6:12? I really need to go very soon. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We Bleeper, killing the Pilgrim. We take 3 and go to 2. Hope they don't kill the Blight Breath. Iroas's Blessing on Blight Breath, kill the Glory Bearers. And we can relax a little bit more. I'll take my 3. Go to 2. Please don't play anything. Entrancing Liar. That's okay-ish. They're down to 1 card in hand. Iroas's Blessing. But we are still just so close to dead. They're also at 18 seconds. We'll play our land. If they play anything that has 2 power, we're dead. Omen of the Sea. Show me bottom, bottom, blind draw. We're down to 10 seconds. Bottom, bottom, blind draw. Bottom, bottom, blind draw doesn't play. We may get the time win here. They are down to 1 second. I think we're going to get the time win. We'll inevitably end the turtle. We 2-1. We 2-1 on time. We weren't going to win that match, I don't think. But hey, we 2-1. I've got to get going though, so let me know what you think of this format so far. We're 2-1 every single Spikey Saturday. If only that was true when I wasn't doing the the Saturday videos. Let me know how it's going for you. Let me know your tips, etc. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can always find me over on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. I'll continue doing Twitch posts on Wednesday, letting you YouTube folks know that I'm live over on Twitch, because it's a fun time. It's a totally different atmosphere, hanging out, playing marbles, streaming Magic, joking around, etc. You can always find me at patreon.com/ManaLeek if you want to become a backer there, like David, who was the sponsor of this draft. You can go to inkedgaming.com/ManaLeek. That'll let them know that I sent you to get playmats, etc. And of course, you like, share, subscribe is the easiest way. If you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you all tomorrow. I gotta go.